Killer, what's good, man?
How you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, man. Today I almost cried thinking about you, man.
Cam started crying, man.
For real, how you doing these days, man?
I see you every day. This morning, I literally see you every day. So just this morning, you about to...
Cam going up against me is like Fredo going up against Michael Corleone. He's Cameo.
Yo, just this morning you gonna cry for me?
Yeah, man.
Right, man.
Yeah.
I hear you, man. Well, I'm good.
You never told me about you and Big L and Dame being in the car.
I was on my way to the hill, me, him, and Big L. And I made a left on Amsterdam into a checkpoint, and I didn't have a license. But at that time, they didn't really always lock you up, but they sometimes did. So I was like, yo, I think I can get out of this, but I'm just letting y'all know I got 3 bricks in the car, but I'll wear it.
The moment Dame Dash dropped his new interview, the internet could already smell trouble because the tone felt familiar, the claims felt bigger than life, and the confidence felt like it was daring someone to check it. That someone turned out to be Mason Cameron, and once they got involved, the whole interview flipped from boss talk to damage control real fast. What was supposed to be Dame reclaiming his narrative instantly turned into a viral moment of him getting clowned, questioned, and picked apart piece by piece. The problem wasn't confidence. Hip-hop respects confidence. The problem was repetition. The same stories, the same self-given titles, the same version of history that always puts Dame at the center of everything. When stories don't evolve, but the claims keep growing, people stop listening and start checking. Mason Cam didn't even sound angry. That's what made it worse. They sounded entertained, they listened, paused, laughed, and then calmly explained why the math wasn't mathing. When veterans laugh instead of argue, that's humiliation. Not loud humiliation, but quiet surgical embarrassment that sticks. They questioned timelines, mocked the exaggerations, and joked about how every interview somehow turns Dame into the mastermind behind whole eras, movements, and careers. The jokes weren't random. They were precise. Precision means experience. Experience can't be debated away.
Wow, yeah, yo, I seen that. I didn't know me, Big L, and Dame was in the car together.
Cam started crying, man. And he told us right then and there that he would put himself in PC. Dad, I'm putting myself in PC. Me and Big L like, what? What?
I didn't even know that me, Big L, and Dame have ever been in the car together.
Oh, man.
You know what's great? I was going to save that for my show because I didn't want to get into this. I really didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, I was going to mind my business, but I saw Mo with the popcorn. I said, so he's taking my part, boss.
I've never, look at Mo got the
I might as well talk with Flea.
So we went to the side and was like, you know, afterwards we were laughing, but I was like, I will never hustle with him. He's a ball player and he does music. So I never really, he's a civilian. But you can't be saying you the best that ever did it in Harlem and you never sold drugs. And if you had to go to Ohio after you was a rapper, that's not the best that ever did it. How dare you say some shit like that?
Fans reacted instantly because this wasn't just funny. It felt overdue. Every time Dame pops back up, he talks like the culture owes him credit it never officially handed him. That rubs people wrong. Respect in hip-hop isn't self-assigned. It's earned, maintained, and backed by receipts. Once Mason Cam started pointing out how the stories kept shifting depending on the audience, the whole interview collapsed under its own weight. The louder Dame tried to sound, the smaller the claims felt. That's how backfires happen. By the end of the first wave of reactions, Dame wasn't trending for wisdom or insight. He was trending for getting clowned by people who were actually there. That matters. When people who lived the era laugh at the retelling of it, the retelling loses power instantly. This wasn't outsiders hating, this was insiders correcting, and correction hits harder than criticism.
Now, I'm gonna say for totally, but I didn't know that nigga was such a liar. Like, you know how your man is your man, so you probably don't be annoyed. Like that's your man, you be like, nah, you just hate us. I didn't know this nigga lied like that, man. Yeah. First of all, let me tell you something. And last I'm gonna talk Flea, but Mace know.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, bro. Big L is not your man. This whole shit don't even make no sense. First of all, I'll say this real quick because we gotta move on. Me, you, and Big L going to get drugs or riding around Harlem don't even sound right. Big L didn't fuck with you. I tried to plug you into Big L when you wanted to sign him when he started his own label, Flamboyant. And y'all was trying to sign him. But Big L brother, Big Lee and Reg, they didn't like you. If you had 3 bricks in the car, or you was on the way to get 3 bricks in the car, on the way to get bricks, whatever fucking lie you told, story you told, you wouldn't have made it home. Big L lines niggas. Mace, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You lying me. So,
Yo, Big
you
L.
got a point there.
That's what
Yeah, you quick on your feet.
Big L lines niggas like barbers, my nigga. You wouldn't have made it home, my nigga. Stop that. Yo, it's really, you going out bad, bro. Stop lying, my nigga. Me, you, and Big L have never been nowhere to get no work or had no work or stopped in a checkpoint or nothing, my nigga. You going out bad, but I'll just sit on talk with Flea Murder. But yeah, man, you might need to say a prayer for me.
Yeah.
As the clips kept spreading, the roast turned into a full-on credibility audit because people started realizing this wasn't about one bad interview, and it was about a pattern that keeps repeating. Mace and Cam weren't reacting to a single line. They were reacting to years of the same inflated storytelling resurfacing every time Dame sits in front of a microphone. The culture connected the dots fast. Same energy, same flex, same narrative where everyone else is secondary and Dame is always the driving force. That kind of storytelling only works if nobody pushes back. Pushback finally arrived, and it arrived laughing. What made the breakdown brutal was how effortless it looked. Mace and Cam didn't need notes, research, or documents. They spoke from memory, shared memory. Shared memory is dangerous because it exposes exaggeration instantly. When multiple people remember things differently than the story being told, the story falls apart. Fans didn't need convincing. They recognized the gaps, recognized the stretches, recognized how often Dame's interviews turn into self-mythology instead of reflection. That recognition turned jokes into verdicts.
Larry, what did you have to say about this? If y'all don't know, y'all keep bringing Larry's name up. He'd be like, yeah, I gave you Larry.
I put you with Larry.
Pause.
Because your show, you're sitting next to Larry. I introduced you to Larry.
Man, I got a lot, but a little.
First of all,
I'm the reason why he got sued.
But what happened was Larry and I and Muddy Waters, the people that are suing me now, we all threw down on a movie and there was a disagreement of some sort. And this is the reason why I have all these lawsuits now. And I don't like the way Larry did his business and he hung up on me.
Boom. Let's move on to A-Track. He talking about he ain't supporting A-Track album. One day Dame like, yo, this nigga ain't A-Track, he's nice, da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, cool. Dame got an ear, he know what's going on. Let's do it. A-Track come to my house. This probably 2013, 14, I got a studio in my house. He come to my house, his word to everything I love. I'm cooking, I'm doing songs. I'm cooking, I'm doing songs. I'm in the middle of shuffling. You can ask anybody who there. Rocky, Dame's wife, his assistant, they all still around. Ask him. I'm shuffling, doing songs. I cooked a full course meal and knocked out 7 songs in like an hour and a half. 7 songs. And cooked everybody food, sandwiches, all that. That's me. That's how well-rounded I am. They can't deny it. You ask somebody, he tell you.
The jokes landed because they were specific. Specific jokes come from real moments. Real moments don't need hype, they just need to be pointed out. Mace and Cam did exactly that. They didn't deny Dame's involvement in history. They denied the scale of the credit he kept giving himself. That distinction matters. Calling out exaggeration isn't hate, it's balance. Hip-hop needs balance to survive. Without balance, ego takes over. Ego invites scrutiny. Scrutiny invites receipts. Receipts end conversations. Fans also noticed how the interview didn't bring clarity. It brought confusion. Every answer raised more questions. Every claim opened another contradiction. That's when an interview officially backfires. When people leave with more doubts than respect. Instead of elevating Dame's image, it shrunk it. Instead of reminding people of his wins, it reminded them of his inconsistencies. That's the worst possible outcome for any public appearance. By now, the narrative had flipped completely. The interview was no longer about Dame telling his side. It was about Mace and Cam exposing how often his side doesn't line up with anyone else's memory. The culture wasn't angry, it was amused. And amusement is deadly when someone expects reverence. Reverence disappears the moment people start laughing.
He like, damn, Kim, you in here doing rhymes and cooking and Yeah, man, take a turkey wing, man. Get a lamb chop, nigga. Let me go in the booth, spit these bars. And you dropping fire like that, boom, yeah, cool. I knocked the whole album out, maybe 2 trips. When Dame was there, it was cool, the album was cool. As soon as Dame leave, A-Track, and he my duty, all that, he's cool. Me and him, I have no problems. But he becomes all artsy. Do you think that if we put the snare where the treble should be, and then boom, we get another beat, A-Track, done. Yeah, what are you talking about? I put a marvelous masterpiece together while I was cooking. I think we should get this person on something. All right, bet, do what you want. I gave you the boss. 2 years passed. Like, yo, let's freshen up the album. All right, cool, go in the studio again. We go in the studio again in my crib.
As the conversation matured, it stopped being about Dame Dash specifically and turned into a bigger discussion about revisionist history in hip-hop, because this isn't an isolated issue. Hip-hop is young enough that most of the people who built it are still alive and still talking. That makes rewriting history risky. You can't rewrite something when the witnesses are still standing right there. Mace and Cam became those witnesses in real time. They didn't erase Dame's past, they corrected his present narrative. That's a key difference. Erasing is hateful, correcting is necessary. The culture respected how they handled it. There was no screaming, no threats, no fake outrage, just humor and clarity. Humor disarms ego, clarity destroys exaggeration. Together, they're unstoppable. Fans felt like they were watching the culture protect itself from misinformation, not through canceling, but through conversation. Conversation backed by memory, memory backed by experience, experience backed by presence. That chain can't be faked.
I knocked some more shit out for the nigga. He got some features on there and all right, cool. I knocked it out again 2 years later. He calls me again, A-Track. Well, I think if I get this other beat, man, do what you want to do. I don't even know you like that. I end up being cool, A-Track. I want to brush him off like I don't know him now. Another 2 years come back. We in Vegas now. Yo, Larry got a studio in Vegas. Let's go there and knock the A-Track out. Again, it's 5 years. All right, bet, fine. Go to the studio, man. Fuck it. It's 5 years done pass. I knock it out again. Some more A-Track called me about 18 months later talking about, you want to no, I don't want to do nothing else, man. No. I knocked it out the first 48, but you want to keep doing shit over and over and over. Then when I hear the final, he calls me another 2 years. So now the album is like 9 years old. He calls me and says, yo, I think I got distribution. Man, I don't give a fuck about that album, man. The fuck you talking about we got distribution? Man, don't do whatever with that shit. It's a decade old, I don't give a fuck.
This moment also showed how much audiences have evolved. People aren't just consuming interviews anymore, they're analyzing them. They compare old clips, remember past statements, and notice when stories change. The internet never forgets. Every interview adds to the archive. When the archive contradicts the speaker loses credibility. That's exactly what happened here. Dame didn't get checked because people hate him. He got checked because the archive caught up with him. Another layer to this is how power dynamics are shifting. Titles don't silence people anymore. Reputation alone doesn't guarantee respect. Respect now comes from consistency. Mace and Cam represent a generation that doesn't need to shout to be heard. They let the contradictions speak, and the contradictions spoke loud enough on their own. That's why this moment resonated. It felt real, it felt unscripted, it felt like the culture correcting course. By this point, the scandal wasn't about embarrassment, it was about accountability. Accountability doesn't destroy legacies, it sharpens them or exposes them. Which one happens depends on how honest the story is, and in this case, honesty didn't survive the spotlight.
Then he gets that honor up, and it's a lie what he said. It was a lie. So I'm like, why is he lying? And then I'm like, he knows Mook is in there. Pause. In the movie, Smoke Dizza, my OG Daniel, Black, my whole crew. So you trying to diss my whole crew and make what they did whack, but everybody else says it's good. It was in the New York Times. Kanye gave the illest premiere and everyone said it was, everyone has said that. Why would you say that?
Promote it, I'm saving you by not promoting it. Shit was nasty, you my man, I ain't gonna let you go outside like that. All them other niggas who let you go outside like that, they ain't your man.
In the end, this wasn't just another viral moment. It was a reminder that hip-hop keeps its own scorecard, and that scorecard gets checked publicly when stories drift too far from reality. Mason Cam didn't attack Dame Dash as a person. They attacked the narrative. Narratives live or die by consistency. This one didn't survive. That's why the interview backfired so hard. Instead of boosting respect, it invited scrutiny. And scrutiny doesn't care about confidence. It cares about facts. The real impact will show up later. Future interviews will be watched closer, claims will be weighed heavier, audiences won't nod automatically anymore, they'll listen with skepticism. That's not hate, that's growth. A growing culture questions itself. A stagnant one lets ego run wild. This moment pushed hip-hop toward growth. It also reinforced a simple rule, like you can hype yourself, but you can't rewrite shared history. Shared history belongs to everyone who lived it. Once you try to own it alone, someone will step in and remind you it doesn't work that way. Mace and Cam played that role without malice, but with precision. Precision hurts more than anger because it leaves no room for excuses. This situation shows how quickly things flip in the digital age. One interview, one overreach, one reaction, and suddenly the narrative changes. That's the risk of talking too much without grounding the story. The mic amplifies truth and exaggeration equally. If exaggeration is louder, it echoes back distorted. That distortion is what people laugh at, and once laughter starts, control is gone.